The chair is squeaky.
Yes.
I'm going to really have a hard time not doing that. Okay, I'm fine. We're good. We can move on.
All right. Hello, fellow humans.
Human fellas.
And welcome to Life Sucks 101. Today we're taking a suggestion from one of our listeners, one of our many vast millions of listeners.
You mean like all three of them?
Those very three.
Okay, perfect.
So, you have a game for me?
Oh, yes. Yes. I'll just ignore the 6 messages on my phone and I will pull the game up. So it's the Florida Man Challenge. So we have to Google our name and Florida Man and read the first article that comes up.
That sounds very interesting.
Yes.
Let us proceed.
Proceed. Do your name, good sir.
Okay, first result. Florida man takes taxi to and from bank robbery.
That, honestly, let's be real. I could see you doing that.
Taking a taxi?
Yeah. And just be like super casual about it.
Just like count my money in the...
Yeah, just robbed a bank. Yeah, you can take me to First Street. Yeah, thanks, sir. I'll give you a big tip.
I'm just counting my money in the back, and he's just looking in the rear view, and he sees cops pulling up to where he picked me up. That'd be great.
It would be hysterical.
Would he tell me to get out? Probably not.
Probably not, no. What does it have any details?
Yeah, details. Here we go. On Saturday morning in Port Orange, Florida, of course there's a place called Port Orange. A man took a taxi to the Seacoast Bank branch. He then walked into the bank, displayed a weapon, and left with a bag of stolen cash. Waiting for him was the very same taxi cab which returned the robber to his home. Police eventually caught up with him and don't believe the cabbie had any idea what was going on.
Yes, Florida.
Yes, taxi man. Do you have one?
Yep.
All right, let's make this happen.
It's loading. Florida man arrested after allegedly coughing on a cashier, saying coronavirus and social distance is getting out of hand.
You got that from putting in your name?
Yes. A Florida man was arrested on assault charges Tuesday after allegedly intentionally coughing on a cashier and telling her social distance measures amid the coronavirus public health crisis are getting out of hand.
I don't know how I feel about that. Probably it's an asshole thing that he did.
Well, don't cough on people. Like, come on, just don't be that guy.
They are out of hand.
So if I type in Danielle Florida Man, which is my, like, according to Google, what my name should be.
Thanks, Google. You correct all our life mistakes. And you're the source of all our knowledge.
You gonna be okay over there?
It's just Corona water.
Okay. So if I do Danielle Florida Man arrests for leaving 5-year-old daughter at... Pause for dramatic effect. It's loading. Oh, haunted house for over 2 hours.
Where'd he go?
Guy purposely floods rental property. Oh, different news article. Give me a minute.
You gotta read the right article, man. I sound super sexy when I talk like this. That's how you suck an Asian dick, Danelle.
Stop. Is that because, like, it's as small as a straw? Is that your joke?
Yes, that's the joke. Thank you.
I don't know where the story went, so.
Okay, well, I have a story for you then. Get a load of this, people. Florida man named Steven disguises himself as a McDonald's cashier and makes off with the cash.
Yes.
I mean, would anyone question you other than go, oh.
Do you work here? Are you new?
Well, they know he's new, but why would they question him at a register? So on Sunday night in Kissimmee, Florida, a man dressed in a McDonald's uniform walked into the restaurant and took his position behind one of the cash registers. Once there, he took a customer's order. Then when the register opened, he took a bunch of cash and ran out the door.
What a way to do that, though. Like, that's just, like, really fucking efficient.
WSOC TV reports that the, quote, customer turned out to be an accomplice as he also scrammed.
Oh.
Police are currently searching for both suspects. So, a lot of interesting people in Florida. Okay, in this case, that's not a dumb thing to do. That actually worked.
Kissimmee, Florida is actually really nice. I've been there many times.
Yeah. And if you're going to get robbed, it'll be creatively.
That's a very creative way to rob someone. I gotta like give the guys props. Like, yeah, they're idiots.
It was an inside job,
but like,
not
what
an
a way to
inside
do
job.
it! You just walk in like you work there. Just no one questions
He pulled
you.
the Mission Impossible for probably like a couple $100.
Probably.
Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know how much is in a McDonald's till, but probably like a couple $100 to $1,000. I don't imagine
I wouldn't say to 1,000. I would say no more than like, especially now because everyone like just pays with debit.
Yeah. And
It's probably only a couple $100.
And I'd assume
because every time a shift change, they usually they refloat the till.
Yeah, and that'd be like what, every 4 hours now?
Yeah, 4 to 6 hours.
6. The more you know. Stevens are, or maybe the whole point of this is that Stevens are particularly creative. So Stevens in Florida. I mean, talking about the taxi, it's such a chill way to leave your crime scene.
Just like doop 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 doop, taxi ride.
In a way, it kind of works because no one would question you quickly getting into a taxi.
No one questions
At
it.
all. And he
But,
probably
like, the
didn't even look
giant-
like a bank robber when he got to the taxi. He was just...
No, but like the duffel bag of money is like a little suspicious.
Only if you open up the duffel bag, it could literally just be his gym equipment.
That's true.
You have zero idea.
You would have no idea to know.
If a guy robbed a bank and offered you money to take him somewhere, would you?
No, but not because of the good reasons that everyone would want me to have. I just wouldn't want to get caught or in trouble.
And this is all assuming, in my scenario at least, that he wouldn't harm you. You get a choice to say yes or no. So he won't harm you if you say no. So
No.
you would say no.
I would say no.
I would stop the car and think. And then probably go with,
You don't want to get caught.
fine, I would go with no.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, okay, fine. You don't want a guy to get away with bank robbery. Like, he's the bad guy. I get it. But
Oh.
at the same time, how much money are we talking?
But to be perfectly honest, you have no control over the situation once he gives you the money. So if you were an accomplice and the police track you or find out that you were because he sucks at his getaway, then you're fucked. Mm-hmm. So basically, how would I know that the guy wouldn't get caught like weeks later
Or just like
and turn me in?
really soon after.
Yeah. Either he turns me in or they get it out of him.
Yeah, like I could see him just totally being like, get him. They're like, I paid the taxi driver.
Here's a positive one.
Oh,
I got one more for you. Steven, Florida man, plays off... Wait, why is his name Michael Esmond? This is not good. When Michael Esmond recently got a utility bill that was due on the day after Christmas, he remembered a rough patch in the 80s when he couldn't afford to pay for his home's gas. Right, okay, here we go. Now the owner of Gulf Breeze Pools and Spa in Florida, Esmond is doing just fine for himself these days. And CNN reports that he just paid $4,600 in delinquent utility bills for 36 of his neighbors.
what a good guy.
Quote, "It made me cry," said Joanne Oliver. She probably blew him after that. For someone like him, a veteran, to come in and do some grand gesture, it was heartfelt for me.
That's beautiful.
It's really touching, but it's also like such a killer political move just to make them all like you.
Oh,
Then they would owe you. You wouldn't have to say it, but they would feel like they owe you. So if you asked for something sketchy, they would have to say yes.
da, da, da.
Dun, dun, dun. Mafia thing. I guess it's hard for me to believe that someone would just dump a bunch of money like that on people, but if it was out of the kindness of his heart, that's awesome. Danielle's.
I was going to say, well, Daniels. There's a lot of Daniels.
But no Danelles. There's one other Danelle that we know of on Snapchat. You should add her and start talking to her.
Bitch stole my name.
But just start talking to her and double check. What if she misspells her name on purpose?
She coulda. There's also a couple Danelles on Facebook.
You should talk to them too. You'll form the group Obscure Name. .com.
Just Danelles.com.
.net. .org. That's how obscure it is.
I would just love to meet someone like with the same name as me. Like I've never, ever, ever have. It would be so fascinating.
That's
for
why you
me.
have to make it happen. Arrange a meet
like
with
you
these
for
girls.
sure have met other Steves.
Yes.
Yes, like for sure you have. Anyone with
And
a
it's
more
weird
common
every
name.
time.
It's just like, oh shit, you're Steve. I'm Steve. It's weird.
I automatically have like an identity crisis. I'm like, who am I? Am I like him? Is he like me? Is he better than me in any way? I should kill him.
I have a number of clients named Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they also harmless?
Yeah.
Yeah. Every Steve is harmless. This is like
He's
a
just a
theory
good
of
guy.
mine.
He's just good. Steves are good people.
It's what happens when you name your kid something gentle like Steve or Steven.
It's a nice gentle name.
They turn out gentle. They turn out.
And then when you name your child a name that doesn't exist, they turn out crazy, which explains me.
And I've never met a non-douchey Chad.
That was a leap, but okay.
I'm talking about names.
Okay, I was just talking about
the
my
association of personality with that. Your name is beautiful and unique.
So I'm beautiful and unique.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But you gotta talk to these girls. You gotta know for sure.
If they're besmirching the good name of Danelle.
Yes, you have to know who's the best Danelle and then take her out.
Well, actually, I already know who the best Danelle is.
No, think about it. In a race of Danelles, you could be the best Danelle on planet Earth. The person with your name, you could be the best person on Earth with your name.
Because there's so few of me.
Because there's so few of you.
There's like 4.
If there's 4 or 5 or 6, then like you could be the best. Imagine being the best Steve in the world. You know how hard that would be? You know how many corpses you'd have to pile up?
I love how you just jumped to you to have to kill them. Like you just know you wouldn't be better than them or something.
I alluded to it earlier that it's like a clone thing. Just briefly, when I meet other Steves, I get like that clone feeling like, oh, it's like this competitive thing that just sparks, right? It's stupid. Makes no sense. But in your case, I think you should talk to all these Danelles. Get to know all these Danelles. This is an article that could be written for like Orangeville Banner.
Oh, yes, I'm sure.
Girl with unique name finds others with her name. No, think about it.
I guess.
You have a truly special name.
Most people I meet have never heard my name before.
Like if I were to have a kid and name him something like super made up.
Like Hutagishi?
There would be no other Hutagishis.
No.
But you know what I'm saying, right?
What's a Hutagishi?
I purposely name him something obscure, like from a video game, and then find the one other person or 2 other people in the world who did the same thing to their kids.
Oh, rude. Like people who name their children Luke and Leia.
Leia. Yeah. Or Daenerys. There's a lot of Daeneryses running around out there.
Daenerys There's a lot of, there would be a lot of Daenerys running out there.
There is.
I want to meet them all.
And there was a joke about the last season of Game of Thrones going, well, you
and
named
when
your
you
kid
named
Daenerys.
your kid Daenerys.
Whoops.